अब इसको बंद ही कर देते हैं। नहीं, ओके। हाँ, तो रहा है, लेकिन यहाँ पे हमें ये बंद स्टॉप करना। अच्छा, ठीक है। ठीक है, मैं इसी पे स्टार्ट करता हूँ यहाँ पे, सो दैट वेलकम एंड स्टार्ट डिस्कशन, है ना। say something. इसको थोड़ा सा welcome friends. Let us start our live discussion. You may start putting up your doubts till this lecture. I'm waiting for your doubts. So I hope you have solved the given assignments, and I hope that assignments are useful for you. Any doubts? Or it is all clear? I've not listened any doubt so far. So it may be a very good thing or it may be a very bad thing. Good thing in the sense that everything is clear from lectures and assignments. Bad thing in the sense that um, you're feeling a little bit shy to ask your doubt. You may ask any doubt you feel that it should be cleared, or give us feedback about the course. Good afternoon, Gaurav. I hope I am audible. Hello. Yeah, agreed. Eigenvalues have lot many applications. In fact, the stability of any linear system or weakly nonlinear system is totally depending on the eigenvalues. Yeah, tell me what you want to know about the fundamental matrix. The fundamental matrix is defined in a way that if you have a system of n dimension linear system, say S is equal to ATX, and you already know the n linearly independent solutions of it, then we can form a fundamental matrix like xt equal to within matrix you can write x1 to xn, where each xi's are linearly independent solution of x dash equal to ATX. So this, in this way, you can find out one fundamental matrix, right? There may be more than one fundamental matrix, right? And once you have one fundamental matrix, then you can write down the general solution in the form of fundamental matrix. So basically, it is similar to your nth order ordinary differential equation. And regarding the applications, applications are, you can find out everywhere where this dynamical system actually there. So whether it is in mathematics or electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and so on. Anything else you want? I believe I'm audible. Yeah, I'm waiting for your doubts or any discussion if you want to do something you don't say get it in a proper way, or regarding assignments, regarding videos, regarding the course, you may share with me. So we are almost on the verge of completing the half part of this course, dynamical system, dynamical and control systems, and the remaining part will this in remaining part we'll discuss about the control systems. Yeah, one more basic down. Mhm. Okay, so I have two doubt. One is for Manivanan, that on doing calculation in ellipsis condition for linearity, how to choose the proper epsilon and delta, that will depend on the function itself. The idea is um, um, you have to find out that will depend on the function itself. Okay, so you, or you can simply Mm, this is really a tricky question, because for some function it is quite easy and for some function it may be difficult. For that you need a little bit exercise. And for more exercise you may follow the book which I have given in reference text, that is Martin Brown for ordinary differential equation. So there are several example available, and there you can go there you can do some exercise with these ellipsis condition. Is it okay? So there is no like fixed kind of a rule. And regarding the Mannivanan and I'm like, oh sorry, Kanan Bala, is there any prescribed way to find out Lyapunov function? Basically, if you look at the lecture on Lyapunov function, it is you can say the Lyapunov function is nothing but the generalized energy function, right? But there is no fixed way to find out Lyapunov function. I think in nowadays people are searching to searching methods to construct Lyapunov function. I have given methods to construct Lyapunov function for some say particular type of equations. For example, x dash equal to 80x we have given, x dash equal to f of x we have discuss, and there are several other forms available for which you can find out Lyapunov function. But saying that there is a fixed way to define Lyapunov function is very hard to see. So um, I can simply say we can get an idea of construction of Lyapunov function from this system itself, but I cannot say that there is a fixed way to find out Lyapunov function. No, it is not. Now, regarding, I hope it is okay. Yeah. And regarding Subhajit Bhattacharya's doubt that periodic orbit. So I hope you are discussing how to find out periodic orbit. Is this your doubt? Let me explain with this. So basically, periodic orbit is basically what? Orbit is basically what? It is basically trace of your solutions. Now, so orbit is basically the curve traced by the solution. Now, under what condition this trace will give you the periodic orbit? When your solution say keep on repeating the same curve, then we'll get a periodic orbit. Now, how we say that a given solution will repeat its curve again and again? For that, oh, okay, okay, okay. So your doubt is uh, what is the difference of period 1 orbit and period 2 orbit or period n orbit? If I look at the definition of orbit, then it simply says the curve traced by the solution, right? And the multiplicity of that, how many times it is rounding around the orbit, is depending on uh, uh, this period 1 orbit means you are saying that your solution revolved around your closed curve, closed orbit, one times only. And period 2 orbit, you want to say that it is revolving around your tracing the curve two times. But if you remember that while defining the orbit, periodic orbit, we have assumed that your trace is your closed curve and the velocity of the solution is non-zero. It means that there is no critical point lying on the closed curve, right? So it means that if it is so, it means that if velocity is never zero and it is tracing a closed curve, then it will never stop, right? So it will keep on repeating the same trace again and again, maybe very slow, but it will repeat the orbit again and again, right? So here uh, saying that it is a orbit of period 1 or orbit of period 2 is quite say not correct, because it is never stop, because there is no critical point, so it will never stop. And velocity is a non negative quantity, so it will repeat again and again, right? So periodic orbit means that every say some time interval t, it will remain again and again. Okay, so there is no concept of period 1 orbit and period 2 orbit. uh, Again, your question is how dynamical system becomes chaotic, and it represented mathematically? Yes, yes, of course it can be. We can check that under what condition this dynamical system becomes chaotic. um, and there is very good book based on this dynamical system and chaos, but that is we are not able to cover in this particular course. Here we are just trying to consider only those dynamical system which in some sort of controllable. So it means that in some sort we are able to find out a control such that it will give you a desired output. So here we are refraining ourselves to discuss chaotic or say chaotic system. Okay. So to discuss this chaos, there are some good books available, and you can discuss this on discussion forum, and we'll give you a good reference for chaos. Okay, so can you explain what you mean by chaotic system? So here, when we have a dynamical system, we know the solution. If the solution exists, if the condition of existence and existence satisfy, then solution exists. If this solution exists, then it has a definite structure, a definite behavior. Now, chaotic system means where your solutions cannot be predicted, right? This is the layman language by which we can understand the chaotic system, that your the outcome cannot be predicted. So there are some parameter involved in your dynamical system. So it means that your dynamical system will involve some parameter, and if you change your parameter in a way, then your outcome may not be given a particular structure, a fixed kind of a solution. For example, if you remember, maybe I have not discussed this. If you look at the beam, if you look at, we have a beam, right? And why we are considering this? Suppose we are having a bridge, right? Bridge is generally built on beams, right? Then if you look at beam, has every beam has some carrying capacity. So it means that if we keep on increasing the load on this beam, right, then after a critical value of load, it may bend. Now where it will bend, we don't know, right? So here your bending is depending on some parameter which is known as critical load put on that beam. So similarly, this parameter will determine the behavior um, of this beam, right? So here still we can predict something, but in some cases where this involvement of parameters gives you behavior which is not able to predict, uh, then we say that it is a chaotic system. And there is a separate branch of these chaotic dynamical systems. Okay, so we may discuss more about it on discussion forum. Yeah, anything else? So here I have not discussed anything regarding bifurcation and chaos. So bending of beam is an example of bifurcation. What is fundamental theorem of calculus? Okay, so fundamental theorem of calculus simply says that if you have a function which is continuous, right, in a given interval, say a to b, then your function, let me use it here, that here, let f is a, let me use one more thing. Okay, so we have a function, say ft, it is defined and continuous in some, say, let us say close interval ab. We can take open interval also. Then we can define a to x f of t dt. Then this function, yeah, it is working. Oh, I have not shared. Okay, 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 fine. Okay, so yeah, so here if ft is a continuous function, and then we can define a to x ft dt, this is a function of x. So we can say that f of x I can define like this. Then if ft is continuous, we can say that this function is f of capital F of x is a differentiable function, and we can define f dash x equal to f of x. And there are different version of fundamental theorem of calculus, and this is the popular version of this fundamental theorem of calculus. Yeah, anything else you want to discuss? We remove this. Stop sharing. Huh? Fine. Okay. Nitish is asking. Yeah. Any more doubt? Okay. Thank you. Okay. Why we are interesting about Lyapunov stability, whereas Poincare and other stability not much interesting? Okay. Okay, let us discuss this. Why we are interesting about Lyapunov stability? Lyapunov stability is a very special kind of way to find out stability of a given system. In if you remember the definition of stability only, then we simply say that if we have one solution and we want to find out the stability of that solution, then for that we need to find out another solution which is initially at a very close distance to this solution, and at say future time it will remain close to this solution. So we say that our solution is a stable solution. But for that, we need to find out a solution and we need to solve this system. But in Lyapunov stability, we are not solving any given system. Rather than we are finding a Lyapunov function, which is a kind of a generalized energy function, and with the help of this we just try to find out the stability of all the solution of linear system if if some condition holds, right? So that's why this Lyapunov stability is sometimes known as a direct method to find out the stability without actually solving the given system, right? And if I look at your other part, that is Poincare and other stability, Poincare is basically Poincare Bendixson method is just to find out the limit cycle. Uh, it is not a way to check that a given solution is a stable solution or not, right? So Lyapunov stability is very useful in the sense that without solving the system, we are able to predict about the stability of the given system. That's why this Lyapunov stability is quite popular. But it comes with the difficulty in the sense that it is very difficult to construct a proper Lyapunov function. Okay, now we have another doubt. How is Mn conversion. So if I look at here, we have used Ristrauss Mn test. So what is Ristrauss Mn test? That if we have a this thing series like summation an kind of thing, right? Ant kind of thing, and each term ant is bounded by some term say mn, such that summation mn converges, summation mn converge, then we say that the original series, that is summation ant, will converge uniformly. This is Ristrauss mn test for giving the uniform convergence. So here we have used the Ristrauss mn test. Is it okay? And I think you are asking this thing or different, that mn convergent. If you look at, this is the tail part of exponential series. So if it is a tail of an convergence series, then it will actually converge, right? Now, what is use of LMI tool in Matlab regarding dynamical system? So far, I have not used this tool in Matlab, so I may not discuss much about it. But anyway, you can post your query in discussion forum. Maybe I will do it, and I will tell you. Okay, Kanan. And can you give an example for all type of stability and types of? Can you give an example of all types of stability? Means asymptotically stability and stability and say instability. I think this you want, right? Stability, asymptotic stability, exponential stability, and their limitation. So for if you take any linear system, right? You can take x dash equal to say ax, where a you can take for example as a diagonal matrix, right? So if you take say zero matrix for example, then the solution is basically, or take any diagonal matrix whose eigenvalues are coming with zero real part, then the solution will remain stable. All the solution of x dash equal to ax, where a is a diagonal matrix with zero real part, then we say that all the solutions are a stable solution. And if I talk about asymptotically stability, we simply say that if eigenvalues of the matrix A comes with negative real part, right, and there is no positive eigenvalues, so simply say all the eigenvalues of A comes with negative real part, then the solutions are asymptotically stable solution, right? And right now I have taken an example of a diagonal matrix. You can start with taking what we say um similar matrix to this diagonal matrix. Yeah. Okay. Next is, can you explain what is meant by globally asymptotically stable? If you look at in linear case, your asymptotically stable and global asymptotically stable is all same. If you look at say autonomous system, x dash equal to ax, because this system is not depending on t, we can say that your solution is asymptotically stable if it is asymptotically stable at one point. But for globally asymptotically stable means it is asymptotically stable for the entire interval, for all time t. Yeah, it is asymptotically stable. And if you want more information about these terms, then there is very good book of MRM Rao, but I think that is out of print. So there is one more book by RP Agrawal, right? I think it is available on our reference list, right? If it is not, you can mail me. Okay, I can provide you more information about various type of stability. Yeah. Anything more? This book is out of print. Um, Rao, M.R.M. Rao. Author name is M.R.M. Rao. M.R.M. Rao. So this book is out of print. So it is, I think, differential equation. I really don't remember the title of this book, but this book is not in print. I have the a copy of M.R.M. Rao. So in the absence of this, you may go for book by R.P. Agrawal, right? And yeah, there also will get enough information about these concepts. I have given, due to say limitation of say time, I have given very short introduction about Lyapunov stability. Was not able to give you the full detail. Anything else? Any good book? That is what I'm saying. I think it is available on reference list. It is RP Agrawal book. Don't remember the title of the book. I think it is differential equation. I don't remember. Maybe you can ask this on discussion forum. I will provide you the full detail of this book. And one more book I have followed. I think it is Brower and Nohill. Okay, so there also will get good information about Lyapunov stability. Okay, so yeah, the RP Agrawal and Brower and Nohill. I think these two books are good for Lyapunov stability. Yeah, any more doubt? For any other query or say regarding the discussion which is I'm not able to cover in this particular course, if you have any doubt, you may directly say mail me your doubts. I think you can find my email ID on my website, that web page. Basically, it is I'm DN Pandey, Department of Mathematics, IIT Roorkee. So if you go, you can get my email ID, and you can ask your doubt through email also. No problem with that. Okay, final exam type written or online. It is online basically. I think I have to, and it is kind of MCQ based. So it is similar to your assignments. Like assignments are multiple choice questions. So in a similar way, we are thinking about having, say, online, completely online exam and MCQ based kind of thing. MCQ, multiple choice question based. Any other doubt? I just want to ask one very important thing. So, whether these videos are difficult um, or easy, I just want to get this feedback. So maybe those who are live basically may give this feedback that the content in the given lectures are difficult or somewhat easy. Yeah, thanks. Um, Actually, depend reference book. So depending on the, actually we have very limited time to discuss some say topic. So I tried my best to make it say short, but still uh, it is always good to have some good reference book so that you can read more about the content of the videos. Yeah, I understand. So regarding the reference book, it is available in our course web page. If it is, if you find it difficult, just raise a query in discussion forum, and I will provide you the entire list of reference book which I have followed. There are some good books, and you can, if you want to get good information about dynamical system, you can get that book. So you just raise a query, and I will give you the list of reference book which I have followed. Yeah. Okay. So regarding the money doubt, that the problem is working people cannot follow the video in time. Yeah, yeah, I can understand this, but I appreciate that that you have say willingness to learn new things, and I think it is very good. And I thanks to NPTEL to provide us a platform where we can interact. Okay, yeah, it is. Yeah, there is one small announcement that if you have any query, you may ask. Otherwise, we'll discuss over discussion forum also. No problem with that. So if you have any doubt, please pose your problem. And if not, then we can discuss. We'll continue over the discussion forum also. Yeah. टाइप कर दिया मैंने. Yeah, you may ask. E-mobility, what are the application of control system? Uh, if I look at the application of control system, in fact, everywhere you see, wherever there is a dynamical system, we have tendency to control the dynamical system. And for that, we need to find out a control function basically, which we say control. And if you have say way to find out a control function within the cost, there is a cost involved in finding a control system. And if we can do that, then it is very easy to control a given dynamical system. So dynamical system, we don't have any control on output. So there is a given initial point and there is a final out point. With a control system, we try to control the say final output, right? And if we are able to do within the cost involved, then it is very useful to study this control system. So this control system is almost everywhere involved. And knowingly or unknowingly, we are using in our social system also. You can very well model your friendship in terms of dynamical system, and you can define your control in terms of, say, mathematical symbols, and you can talk about stability and control and all that. There are example available based on these systems. Or forget about this friendship model, there are, say, kind of a war model available, right? And yeah, and if you have any more doubt, you can always mail me your doubt, whether it is related to your within your syllabus or it is related to the course but not in syllabus. You can mail me and we can discuss over the mail also. There is no problem in that. Any more doubt you have? Welcome. Yeah. So I believe there is no more doubt. So we are going to close this live session. Is it okay with all? Fine, I'm not getting any response in this way. So I'm just going to close it. Thank you for watching this. We'll again meet in course.